Hi, I'm Adam and welcome to the Tasso Works Scooter Workshop, and let's find out what's going on today.
Welcome back. In previous videos I've spoke to you about different upgrades that you can get for your Royal Alloy 350 MTs and well all the 350s. In this video I'm going to speak to you about tuning and the performance upgrade that we can do for it. So this involves decatting the exhaust. So from the downpipe, what we're going to do is replace it for a decat downpipe. We are going to fit the exhaust, so it's a full exhaust right through in stainless, not just the muffler but obviously the decat downpipe as well. We're going to fit the air sock. More air means and more fuel means bigger bang, so that's a necessity. And we'll also be remapping the ECU, so this is putting a new set of settings on. Now what this takes the performance up from 25 brake horsepower through to a shade under 32, so it's about a 25-30% increase in performance. This doesn't mean this is 30% on the top end. It's more about the usable power that you'll have when riding in that sort of mid-range area, when you're hitting hills, that sort of thing. It's a blast once this is done. We're letting it breathe, we're putting more fuel in, we've changed the number of other settings in the ECU tables, and we've obviously got the sound and the looks from the exhaust. So let's run through each item individually and how you fit them. So first off, we'll remove the exhaust, both the muffler section and the downpipe. We'll deal with the lambda sensors and I'll show you how to change those items over. So first off, let's remove this muffler. This is fairly straightforward, so it's just a case of taking the top nut from here. Once that's nuts off, now loosen the two on the underneath and you can just lift the muffler away. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to take the original downpipe off, which has the cat halfway through. Now first off, we need to unplug the two lambda sensors. So you'll find them just here, and there's a connector for the front one and identical looking plug, and that's for the rear one. Then take your extendable with an 11mm socket, and if you go up inside you can just get your socket onto the nut and just undo it from here. Okay, now with both nuts off you just need to carefully take the original downpipe section out. Obviously this comes out with the lambda sensors connected, and you'll see the downpipe has the cat in the middle, and what we're going to do is we're swapping that for what we call a decat downpipe, so that's basically the same thing but without the cat in the middle. Now our new downpipes are made of 2mm thick stainless. It's actually thicker than the original, so they're pretty robust. Now first off, we need to take these lambdas out of the original downpipe. Now 16mm spanner is all you need, and you can loosen the lambda there. Now make note that you're putting the right one in the right place. So that's the first lambda out, and then the rear one again, we'll take that out and we'll place that just there at the rear. So that's the lambdas out the old downpipe, and then we're going to pop them back into the new one, and again just pop them in like so, and then tighten them up. Okay, so once we've put the top lambda in, we next need to put the rear OS2 lambda in. So firstly you'll need to put what we call the spring clip onto the lambda sensor boss itself like that, and then place the lambda through and tighten that on like so. So with both lambdas in, we're going to offer this back up to the cylinder, and retighten this up. So both nuts, let's just pop that back on. That's both studs loosely on. Let's get the wrench, and then what we're going to do is we're just going to tighten this up, not fully, but just enough that we got a little bit of wiggle room. Okay, there we go. So we've got a little bit of wiggle room on that. Now, feed the Lambo wires back up so they're nicely out the way. So that's the OS1, and your front one and your rear one, and OS2 back up to the top there. And then connect them back up. Now I've kind of put little green markers on this just so that I know which is the right Lamba, and the same for the one at the rear, and all the way around, and then we'll tighten that one on. So that's those done. Now the muffler section's fairly straightforward, as in a video shown before. This is just a case of fitting the plate back up, and we'll fit that into the top hole up there. And just do it finger tight for the minute, and then the same with the hole at the back. And for the minute we'll just go finger tight, so then you've got a little bit of movement in that. Next, take the muffler section and slide that onto, move that out a wee bit, slide that onto the downpipe there. You'll need your spacer washer and bolt, so put in the big spacer, or support spacer, over the top, pop that through, so the spacer washer goes through and connects up, and then with the little hands again, you just want to put the nut up in the back there, and just hold it with your finger, and that's a grip nut, so once you've got it started, it will grip to the back of the rack of the support plate, and you just need to tighten that up. And then once you're happy with the alignment, you can just go ahead and tighten all the bolts, both the two here, the one in the center, 17 on the bolt there. We've got two 13s, one there, and the one on the back. So that's that. And then just the cylinder stud nuts themselves, and we'll just pop the spanner up. Lock it up, I should say, and that's your two nuts on the cylinder studs done as well. So that's that on nice and tight. Next we just need to pop the spring on, and we will hook that through there. And then taking our spring clip, I should probably go the other way around, it'd be easier. Pop that one on there, and we'll take our spring clip, and we'll just pull that up onto place. Alright, so, and there's your spring hooked on. And that is all nice and tight there. So that's your exhaust fitted. Next job, we will fit the air sock. We've also got a set of DrPulley rollers. Now they'll need fitted as well. So as far as the upgrade goes, it's exhaust, remap ECU, air sock, decat downpipe, and obviously DrPulley rollers. So next up we will flip the scooter around. I'll take the airbox out and I'll show you how to remove that. Okay, with the scooter flip round, let's remove the panel. And then this is the airbox. So this is our very restrictive part, and we need to get this changed to an air sock. So I'll show you how to remove this airbox, and it's fairly straightforward. In this two sections there, and there's a bolt just at the back here. And that's just the 3 bolts. All you need to do is remove them, and you'll just need an extension and a 10mm. and simply pop that in there, and you'll feel the socket grip, and then just loosen that. You can take it all the way out. Now the same with this one here. And the same with the one on the back there. I'll just undo those. Now, this one's easy enough to get out with your hand, but these are always tucked in and it's really tricky. So just a pair of long nose pliers and just grab hold of the bolt and you can just slide them out. Makes life a lot easier. And the same with the back one there. Like so. So that was the 3 out. And then you've got one pipe, which is the breather from the cylinder head. We need to just remove that from the airbox and just place that to one side. Now that leaves the airbox free. And you can just turn it, and it will just keep going until you've removed it from the actual inlet downpipe, so that part there. So that leaves us with an airbox. Now this is the restrictive part. All the air for the whole breathing of the scooter has to go through there. This is the same airbox they use on 125cc's even, so you can imagine how small the inlet is. Now this isn't just this big, it gets right down to a little tiny point, so it doesn't let a lot of air in. So remove the airbox, place that to one side. Then we're left with the actual manifold inlet itself, and what we're going to do is we're going to put the RamAir filter straight onto that. So it's just a case of just putting it over the top until you're past the little sort of grip part here. So pull it on nice and tightly there so it's properly over, and then with the supplied cable tie just loop that round the back. Oh, let's just flip that round, loop that round the back and tighten on, so you're making sure that it's the, as I mentioned earlier, that little ridge, so it's the other side of that, and then just tighten it up, and then that's your air sock on nice and tight. Just snip away any excess, and that's done. Then with this sort of breather just floating around, we want to just put this on an upright position. What I normally do is just turn that little clip, just keep it out of the way, and then put that up there, and then what we'll do is we'll cable tie just loosely around this upright of the frame, and that'll keep that nice and tight there. So that's got that out of the way. So that's the air filter fitted. That's the air filter fitted. So next we're going to show you how to fit the DrPulley rollers. We've done a full video on this, but here's just a quick one just as we put the rollers in. Now take your DrPulley rollers, which are cam shaped. Now they have to go in a very specific way. It's important that you replace them like this. Now you can see the DrPulley name written on the top. Now simply place that in to each of the different sections like so. And just work your way around, making sure that the DrPulley name is at the top. Okay, that is your rollers fitted. Next, take a ram plate, place this back over the top, holding the whole assembly, put it back onto the shaft. Remapping the ECU is basically a case of updating the settings that are in there, the tables and that, for a new set of settings. Now there's two ways in which this can be done. We can undo the glove box here, which I'll do, and inside it will reveal the OBD connector. Now this OBD connector here, we can plug the equipment in and we can flash the ECU through the OBD and put a new set of settings on. The other way, which we can do, is by post. So you would need to remove this ECU, and I'll do that for you in a second, and then you'll post the ECU up to us. We'll flash it, we'll get the ECU string, we'll flash it, and we'll fit a new set of settings on, and we'll have one of our stickers just to know which map's actually in your ECU. So let's go ahead and we'll take this off so we can show you how this is done. It's fairly straightforward. All we need to do is undo the two 10mm nuts here, and this will release the ECU from the frame itself. So just loosen them up with a ratchet, and then you can just spin the nuts off either side. Oh, I need a bit more of that one. Just spin them off like so. Place the nuts to one side, and now you can release the ECU from its holder. Now, what you're left with, obviously, it's still connected. Now, this is a robust connector here, so you need to make sure that you don't just yank it. You can break that connector. It's very easy. Now, what you will find is inside, there's a little tab here. What we need to do is press that tab and then pull the lever up. And what that will do is it will release the ECU from all the way up from the connector itself, and it's a really substantial connector, so you need to make sure. So this is the piece that you'll post into us, and then we'll remap it. You'll get your new ECU with confirmation sticker to say that it's been done. Now you just simply reconnect your ECU back on and then slide the lock back down and it will click into place. Then position your ECU back up onto your frame so the bolts are there. Take the nuts and tighten them back up. Like so. And with your wrench, just tighten them back into place. Okay, that's the remap done. Okay, that's the Tasso Works 350 upgrade all done. We fitted the exhaust, the decat downpipe, the air sock, the DrPulley rollers, and we've remapped it. This is not only going to sound awesome, it's going to go awesome. So I think the next job is to take this out for a spin and let's see how well it goes. In the meantime, if you want to order this 350 upgrade, you can do that from your local Tasso dealer, or you can buy it from our website, the link of which is in the description below. I hope you liked the video. Please leave any comments you've got. Happy to answer them. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching, and please subscribe below so you don't miss our next episode.